Welcome to episode 52 of Cocktail Hour. I'm Andy.
And I'm Rev.
And today's podcast is brought to you by Audible.com. Get a free audiobook download at www.audibletrial.com/cocktail hour. Over 100,000 titles to choose from for your iPhone, Android, Kindle, or MP3 player.
Wow, you did a great job. And in case you don't know, we've been battling with this audibletrial.com announcement for the last three shows, I think this is now. And that was the best flowing one yet. Congratulations, Yay. Andy. I'm really proud of you.
Wee. Saving you don't drink the alcohol, it all helps.
We are doing this earlier in the day, so that might help.
True, but it is 5 o'clock somewhere. And speaking of which, I heard you're having one of my very favorite martini-type cocktails. You are having a Cosmopolitan today. I
am. I haven't tasted it yet, and I did change up my recipe a little bit. Now, our special guest is Ann McMan. See, I almost fucked it up.
That's usually my job. Come on now.
I know. Is Ann McMan. And now, Ann, you sent me a really wonderful recipe. And then when I got to the store to buy the orange liqueur that I'm not going to try to pronounce, it was a bit out of my price range because Andy's making me buy video games. So I had to stick with my triple sec.
Grand Theft Auto 4 has to take precedence over top shelf booze.
Well, so, so I stuck with my triple sec, but I did modify it from the regular recipe that we used the last time. We had Cosmos with Redmond. That's where it was. And I used the citrus vodka, which I hadn't used before. So I'm going to taste it now because that's what I do. I like it.
Isn't it extraordinary? Now, someday you will have to actually spring for the Cointreau.
I will.
It's a totally different citrus experience.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I will. The next time you come on, I will.
Okay, yeah.
Well, there you go. Awesome.
All right. Oh, well, TJ, my wife, did try it, and because I said, well, you really like lime and citrusy stuff, and this doesn't really, it's not overpoweringly, alcohol flavored, and she declared it one of the worst things she's ever had. So, we're just going to keep trying. She hasn't liked any of them.
One of the worst things. She liked an orgasm, didn't she?
I think she liked the bleach blonde, I think, and the sea breeze a little bit, but mostly she likes beer.
I don't trust a woman that doesn't like an orgasm. I'm just saying.
I think she did like that one.
All right.
But all right. Well, anyway, so good choice. That's really yummy. And I was going to make a double, but it's really early in the day.
And sometimes how some recipes are like, and not just with drinks, but anything. There are certain recipes you can double with impunity, and you don't have to worry about the results. But some you double, and they're just things go horribly awry.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of how Cosmos are, and I don't really know what goes on in that shaker, when you have like 2 times the amount of, stuff in there. But they have more of a tendency to sort of rip your head off.
Really?
You double them. So.
Oh. Well, there we go. Well, all right, then. Well, I'll just make another one later.
Good. There you go.
Maybe that'll solve it. Well, Ann is joining us today. We didn't have this, drum rolling intro. We just kind of slid her right in, kind of like, never mind. But, I figured that was really going to go far afield. I was going to behave myself. But Ann's here to talk about her book, Sidecar. Did I say that? Did you hear that? Sidecar?
Yes.
Yes? Okay, good. Yes, all right. Lordy. Anyway, so I read it. I finished it yesterday afternoon, and I'm guessing Rev probably finished it today.
I did. I finished it. In the late morning.
Wow.
And So, should we just go?
Let's just jump on. I'll jump on in.
Well, do you want to tell people who Ann is? I mean, maybe we shouldn't assume that everyone's already heard the episode that Anne was on earlier, and maybe people don't know who the hell she is. I mean, I don't know how that's possible, but
I know, right? Come on now.
I mean, especially if they monitor the police blotter, you know.
Oh God, that's not right. Well, I always encourage our listeners to go back and listen to some archived episodes, but I got to tell you, Anne is one of those folks that has a bio probably about as long as my arm. Oh, yes, she does. Mm-hmm. It's very
Andy's
detailed.
got short arms.
No, it's pretty long. But go read it. It's at annmcman.com/about/. That'll just take you right to it.
And the last time Anne was on, I know that there's at least one person who purposely hasn't listened to the last episode that Anne was on because it was my farewell episode.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
But I'm back.
Well, maybe I should make an announcement.
Wait a minute. This doesn't mean you're going to leave again, does it?
Well, I do have an
So
announcement.
I'm never coming on the show again.
I have an announcement later on.
Oh, God. Oh, no.
Just kidding.
Oh, my God.
Okay. Well, and then there was one other. Then we're also going to chat a bit about Anne's upcoming book, Aftermath. Listeners, you get a special bonus.
Yep, it's a cornucopia of sin.
and booze.
And booze.
And the word fuck. So
For women.
Okay, well let's get into this because there's I want to talk about some of the stories.
Okay, good.
So the first one.
Well, wait.
Weren't you going to introduce me to people who don't know who I am?
That's Anne.
Yeah, that's Anne.
Yep.
McMan.
Sorry, everybody say hi to Anne.
Hello, Anne. It's Anne McMan, not Anne McCann.
She's not Anne McCann.
No, not Anne McCann. So, welcome Anne McMan to our show again.
Thank you. Delighted to be here.
Excellent.
Right.
Excellent. Do you want to wait?
What?
Do you want to give a brief overview of Sidecar? I mean, it's.
Oh, I like it when Sherry does that.
Ah.
Yeah, I'll do it. Well, let's do them one at a time. Because, I like it that way. All right. So the first story, for everybody that doesn't know, Anne has written 2 previous books, Dust and Jericho, but not in that order. So Jericho is about, I'm not going to use last names because I don't remember them at the moment, but there's Maddie Stevenson, right?
That's right.
And she's
Murphy.
And then there's Sid
Murphy,
who was a librarian, and so that's they're in Aftermath, and it's a really funny book, and if you haven't read it, you ought to be ashamed of yourselves, and you should. So the first story in Sidecar kind of revisits them. It's V1, A Valentine's Day Odyssey, and it's Maddie trying to do something special for Valentine's Day / Sid's birthday, and with anything that Maddie tries to do covertly, hilarity ensues. Mm-hmm. So there were a lot of things that I had actually forgotten about. It's been a while since I read Aftermath. And,
you mean Jericho?
I mean, yes, I'm sorry. Since I read Jericho, because I haven't read Aftermath yet, because I don't have a time machine and all that. So, but it all kind of came back to me. Especially everything that you write is very witty with loads of one-liners, and it felt kind of like coming home reading V1. And there's just so many great lines in it. So what it is Maddie's trying to, Maddie doesn't cook. So she's trying to learn how to put together this multi-course meal, and using her friend Michael's gourmet kitchen. Mm-hmm. And
poor Michael. I
was thinking about Gloria.
See, and damn it, yeah, and I that song got trapped in my head. I was cursing you. So, Andy, do you want to go?
Okay, I'll go. Valentine's Day Odyssey. It it was nice to be able to revisit the characters, but I thought the pacing was a tiny bit slow. I had a hard time with that one.
You did?
I did. I actually did. But I went through it, and her messing up Michael's kitchen was the best part of that story, no doubt.
That's funny. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying that was I thought the best part too. But then I think the thing that came close to that was David.
The stakeout.
Huh?
The stakeout.
The stakeout.
Yes, the steak.
Yeah, that's my favorite part.
Yeah, not necessarily so much the stakeout itself, but what after when Maddie comes out and calls them Lucy and Ethel, that was.
You got some splaining to do.
Yeah, the eruption and Maddie's the way that she rationalizes, well, if I got to put something in the refrigerator for it to chill for 4 hours, surely putting it in the freezer for a fraction of that time would be just as good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was cringing with that part because we're always experimenting here in the kitchen. My brother, he would think he was, Mario Batali, the way he, just takes care of the kitchen stuff. He's just master chef. And so I could see a little bit of him in that story, and it just made me laugh. Get proprietary about your kitchen stuff.
Now I have a question.
Yeah.
Will eggs actually explode like that?
Oh, honey, yes, they will. I write from my own rich experience, and if you let that pan boil dry, those little suckers they're like little hand grenades.
No kidding.
Oh,
I'm really tempted to try that.
And you'll have them all over your kitchen.
Oh, wow.
Now this story, and maybe you all know that, I actually did write this story for a Valentine's Day invitational they had at the Academy of Arts.
I think you mentioned that on the last show.
Well, and the reason that I did it, because I was already starting to work on the sequel to Jericho Aftermath, and I thought this would be, because the rules there permit you to write about anything you want to write about. It can be any kind of story. So I thought, well, this would be a nice way for me to kind of get back into these characters. To dip back into that well a little bit and get reacquainted with them, and try to sort of get them all spooled up. So that's kind of what I was doing there.
Mm-hmm. And I think that it's definitely going to be a nice refresher for folks, since Aftermath is going to be coming out in the next month or so.
I hope so.
So yeah, because I did catch the number, the plane identification.
Oh, did you?
This time, yeah.
And you noticed that nobody changed the tire.
No, I did think about that.
Yeah.
Oh, see, now I kind of want to move right into Bottle Rocket now, because
please.
Okay, do we want to talk about Maddie and Sid anymore?
I'm good.
Okay. Well, I think there was I can see what Andy's saying with the pacing. It was there were just so many. There were just a lot of one-liners, and it was really good. I enjoyed that, but
It was a little slow. It's still good. I'm glad I read it.
Tough.
It's just a little slow.
You're so tough.
Well, no, people expect us to be brutally. It's tough to do in the authors right here,
Really?
Well, I promise you, really. It's not
I just let loose with it.
I promise you, Aftermath is anything but slow.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Well, let's move on to Bottle Rocket.
Oh, yes, please. Let's move on to Bottle Rocket.
Now, Bottle Rocket is about Sean Harris, who's a new author, put out a book called Bottle Rocket, and it's been reviewed. It's everybody loves it. Most everybody loves it. It's like going gangbusters in the lesfic world, and a reviewer, Kate Winston, who writes for Gilded Lily, a blog, really just kind of tears it apart. And then kind of an online battle goes on, and then the editor or Sean's editor reaches out to the Gilded Lily folks and decide to put Kate and Sean together on a panel at what's called ClitCon.
Yeah, ClitCon.
And what does that stand for?
The Creative Literary Insights and Trends Conference.
How long did it take you to come up with the words for that?
Right, you're absolutely right. I mean, I sat here for a long time with the letters, kind of doing, what do they call those things, like anagrams?
Yeah, yep.
Trying to come up with an acronym that would really work for clit. And finally, because in the book, I think they refer to it as the unfortunate acronym.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
I think you did. Mm-hmm.
The ClitCon.
The ClitCon. I liked that. That was great. Can you imagine seeing that on a big billboard in San Diego? I mean,
Well, it was kind of channeling GCLS.
And that's exactly what I was seeing. And that's the next thing I wanted to ask you. Have you caught any shit from GCLS people? Because you're not really all that kind.
Well, you know what? I'll say two things about that. First, I felt like I sort of hedged my bet against any criticism by ridiculing my own book.
Oh, I know.
Yes,
that was awesome. Love that.
That was entirely like a defensive posture right there. But then secondly, I will tell you, and Andy, you should remember this, the book came out literally the week of the GCLS conference. Mm-hmm. In fact, I saw the book for the first time when I got there, mm-hmm. and they had it in the vendor area. So, and the reading that I did at GCLS was from Sidecar. So lots and lots of people picked it up and read it, and thank goodness I got nothing but universally positive feedback.
Awesome.
That's wonderful.
That is wonderful.
That's wonderful.
And they had a really good sense of humor about it.
And Andy, were you going to say something?
Well, I was, but are you going to explain the story anymore, or are we just going to go now?
No, we're just going to go now.
Oh, we're going to go now? I got to say, Bottle Rocket was my favorite of all four stories in this book. That I laughed out loud in several areas of this book. That the whole mega disaster at the beginning of the show of the con.
At the plenary session.
Oh my God! I laughed so hard.
Did you like it when the woman from the what was it, the conference in the next meeting room, the Defending Your Marriage According to comes in accidentally.
Oh yeah.
And she trying to figure out why are there so many men in here with bad haircuts.
It was awesome. I mean,
they had something like that, didn't they? Have something at the last GCLS that was some religious based thing.
The next to last one.
Was it a Mormon?
I think it might have been a Muslim.
No.
Oh.
It was the 2011 con at Disney. They had a funeral directors convention at that hotel, and they had something. I don't remember what it was. Some Christian something or other.
They had something at this last one that I was at, though.
Oh, I don't remember seeing that. I don't remember that one. I might have been stumbling around.
Yeah,
I think you
go
were.
Figure on that one.
No, the part where it starts out and then you end up ridiculing Jericho a little bit, not ridiculing it, but poking fun at it. Which I thought was kind of funny because in the foreword, I think it was written by Salem. She was talking about how you would, she was reassuring you kind of that, no, your books aren't all the same and they're not all the same character and, cliche and all that stuff. And then you kind of poke fun at the fact that, well, they all are kind of, I just would like to read one small part. So Sean the author is going around the vendor tables and looking at the different books, and the thing that Anne is pointing out is how similar They all are. And I won't read the blurb parts, but that's hilarious also, especially the finding the solitary figure on the side of the road in the one on the prairie. That was hilarious. So this is how every single one of these covers is pretty much the same. The covers show two very well-endowed hot women in a clinch. Oh, and then this is the one, I highlighted the one by VJJ Singh, which is...
I Do Galaxy.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Yeah, there was like 5 or 6 books sitting on right next to each other, and they were all in a clinch, which was really, it was really, really funny, really well done.
Very well done. And then the one with the erotica one, this cover show them in a clinch. It was hard to tell from the angle. Sean rotated the cover. Yep, it was a clinch. That was fantastic. You have all these different things pressed up against the carotid artery of the neck going. So this is why your stuff is so fun to read, because you really, beside the great one-liners, which you are just a master at, you really set up a great visual, and I think that's the biggest asset, I think, to your work, is that I can get a very, very clear picture of Sean and Kate hiding behind a potted palm when shit is flying all over the place, and it's just, you do such a great job of really getting that visual in there.
I really like the fact that every time somebody stumbles into one of those palms, all these people scatter.
That's it was
all these people who are like lurking back there.
It's like a flock of birds.
Shoot out.
Shoot out. Yeah.
And I think one of my I don't know. I mean, it always sort of surprises me when I learn the things that people who read the books and the stories really, really like. I always find that so useful and generally so gratifying. But my favorite parts of the books are usually something entirely different, and that's probably often the case.
Huh.
In this book, I think my very, very favorite scene, there actually are two. One is the scene with Sean in the elevator. Where she's like stuck in this elevator that just is moving at a snail's pace and stopping on every goddamn floor. Mm-hmm. And there's nobody there. And she's playing that tape in her head of all of the sort of carping things that her mother constantly says to her, like, forever, like, when are you still dating that bimbo? Why are you wearing those pants? Are you ever going to marry a nice boy like your cousin Jerome? Like that thing. I love that one. And then the other one I really liked was the one of Kate alone in her apartment, trying to find the, is it a strainer to get the cork out of her wine? And she's, I just really liked that one a lot, where she kind of ends up thinking about how much that glass of wine with the shit floating in it is like her life.
See, I go for the slapstick with you.
Me too. Sorry, Ann, I do the same thing.
Because I actually have just such a dark soul.
Is that what it is?
And that comes through, I think.
Do you think so?
A little, yeah. You write a lot of dark... there is a lot of dark stuff in there, but it's just... I think I would have to read the same thing over several times, because I can't get past the humor in it. You can see, there is some real unhappiness there in both of those characters. Yeah. Particularly Kate. When she's talking about her ex and their dog and all that stuff, but those things are so, at least to me, I kind of, it's not that I intentionally do it, but those things kind of get glossed over, moving on into the next funny thing that happens. Mm-hmm.
Well, I'll tell you something. I hope it's interesting about that particular story. When my publisher talked with me, and we were kind of going back and forth on the idea of maybe putting out a book of short stories, which, let's call a spade here, is really not the most popular kind of book to do. Unless they're erotic stories, nobody really reads them or buys them. But
you only need them for a few minutes.
Right. Thank you both very much for doing this. But I knew that I needed something new. I needed like more content for the book. So Salem and I actually started talking about what would be a fun sort of story to write. How about an author who gets a really toxic review? Because even though I deal with those with the spirit of a saint, I do know that that I, in tandem with probably everyone else, that they rattle your cage, and they're hard to deal with, and they undermine your confidence, and you grow tumors about them, and all that. So we both thought that would be a real fun thing to explore. So we kind of talked about it and came up with these characters and started writing it. Well, clearly you have an author and you have a reviewer. And what was interesting was, as the story sort of started out being kind of me and her, as I got deeper into it, their personalities completely switched. And Kate Winston ended up being the one who was like angry and angst-ridden. Mm-hmm. And Sean Harris sort of ended up being the person who was kind of more positive and able to like things, and like the Sandra Dee type. Salem. So anyway,
Salem. You just got to get that one in on the.
Salem, you caught that, I'm sure. Salem and Winston.
No, I didn't.
I caught it.
I feel a little foolish that I didn't now, but yeah.
I think it's awesome.
And I'm sure that I don't know if Salem has, but I've been called some nasty names and had fans of a book that that I gave a bad review to, and it wasn't even a bad review because I don't really write bad reviews. I try to find something nice, it's like, I didn't like this book, but this person has a lot of fans, so I'm sure somebody must. And I've been reamed a few times over that. It doesn't feel nice.
No, it doesn't, and she's had that same experience, and it's been like deeply distressing to her, and in the same way where she never gave a bad review, but she was honest about some either like technical or content driven problems with the narrative. Still looking, but there were people and people's fans who really just went after her in a really personal way.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why we both thought this would be a real sort of interesting topic to kind of wade into in a humorous way.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And I did like the way that you, although I did shudder at the whole bottle opening thing.
Yeah, that was, where the hell did that come from? Holy crap.
But you got to admit, honestly, the way she gets them out of the joint
was really disturbing, really.
And I don't want to know if either you or Salem can really do that. I just don't want to know that much. Just so you know.
You don't think that's funny when she slams her foot up on the chair and says, freedom?
Yeah, no. Listeners, you're going to love getting to that part. We don't want to. If you buy the book for no other reason, buy it for that part.
You know what? If anybody's interested, on my blog at McMan.com, there's actually a little section up there called the B-roll, and I've done all of these interviews with the characters from Bottle Rocket.
Yeah. Did you?
Oh, I sure did. You got to go to J.K. Sings.
I'm definitely gonna have to check that out.
You get some real insights into her character.
Dang, girl! I'll have to check it out now.
I don't know. I might be afraid of Quinn's.
Oh, Quinn's is great.
All right.
Quinn's interview is really hilarious. She actually participated in the Olympics in some very esoteric event.
Oh, my.
Yes.
I'll be sure and put a link. I'm making myself a note.
Thank you. They're really funny for anybody who reads this story and enjoys it.
So it's kind of like Overtime with Anne McMan.
Yes, it is. And actually, there's a method to my madness there, because now that the sequel to Jericho, Aftermath, is actually finished and ready to for publication, the next book that I'm going to write is a book called Backcast, which actually will be a full-length novel reuniting the ClitCon 13.
Awesome.
What they're going to do, you're going to love this. They all meet at a writer's retreat. in Vermont on Lake Champlain, and it's kind of like the Parent Trap on crack.
Nice.
While they're there, they decide to enter a tournament bass fishing competition.
Oh, this is going to be good. This is going to be good. What are you doing talking to us?
Jokes galore.
Oh, you got that one right.
What are you doing talking to us? Go get out here and go ride. Holy shit.
I thought I'd let myself... You know what? I have published 4 books in 13 months. I'm tired.
I imagine you would
That
be.
doesn't count. Hold the phone. 2 of those were pretty much already written.
Oh, you're so harsh. It's no better than to try to pull that horse shit here.
You're on the wrong show for that, honey.
You're right about that.
That's too damn funny.
All right. Let me see. Okay. Well, do we want to talk any more about ClickCon?
No, if we do, we're going to give it completely away because that whole scene, that opening scene with the when the ClickCon starts was just, oh my God, it was like balls out wild. It was really good. Oh God.
All right. Well, then let's move on to the next one, which is Falling from Grace, which has Grace, a woman who's been dumped like 10 months before, I think, something like that. I may have that wrong. Is that right? About 10 months?
Yeah, it's less than a year.
Okay, so she's been dumped by her partner, left for a younger woman, and she's going off. And I did read some. We'll do that in a minute. Sorry, I have ADD. So she's on a flight going to her best friend Rizzo's 60th birthday party, and meets a beautiful stranger on the plane, and they. I don't want to give too much away, but I think it's kind of obvious what's going to happen while they're on the plane. They kind of get to know each other. They have a nice conversation, very nice chatty thing, and then they meet up again at the costume party. And now I did read. I want to give you a chance to talk about your friend, because I did read one of your blogs, and Rizzo. That character is actually based on a good friend of yours, right?
That's right. That's absolutely right. And I really did go to her 60th. However, I am not Grace, but I did actually travel to her 60th birthday party. So this was kind of like my homage to her.
Nice.
So you didn't pick some random.
Honestly, I really didn't. In fact, I took my gay best friend along. So no, I was carefully chaperoned the entire time.
Oh.
Probably a good thing.
Probably. There you go. Now, I want to say that I liked this story a lot. I liked the Abby character, the other woman on the plane, and I liked that. Actually, the things that I want to say, I want to talk about. I also want to kind of say the same things about the last one, Nevermore. So I'll just shut up. And Andy, do you want to talk about Falling from Grace?
Well, it's Falling from Grace. It seemed. I mean, it flowed really, really well, and it seemed super short. I mean, I don't remember how many pages it was, but it was like I remember.
Shorts?
No. I mean, it was like a really short, like mini story. Because I remember
because Bottle Rocket is so freaking.
Yeah, Bottle Rocket.
Oh, maybe that's why. Because I'm reading, I'm like, oh, I'm liking these characters. It was done. I was like, what the fuck?
Andy, it's interesting that you say that, because I sort of had an argument with my editor about the way to order the stories.
Uh-huh.
So I think my option would have been to have made Bottle Rocket last, just because it is a novella. But I yielded to her superior sense.
I would have gone Bottle Rocket last too.
Mm-hmm.
I would have opened with Sid and Maddie, and then Falling from Grace, Nevermore, and then I would have ended with Bottle Rocket.
Yeah. I think I'd have to agree.
Make sure you play this for your publisher.
Oh, trust me, I'll hear about this.
Excellent.
You'll hear about this.
And V1 was fairly long too.
Yeah, it was.
So okay, go back.
Is that all you wanted to say?
No, I'm sorry. No, we just kind of got sidetracked.
Imagine that.
I can't imagine one. Nevermore is another cute little story. Although I couldn't get into either one of the two characters. Like I couldn't feel them. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I mean, they were on the page, and I understood where they were coming from, but I never felt them, and typically that's kind of hard to do with short stories, but I felt everybody on every other story prior to that one.
Isn't that funny? Because again, I want to hear what you have to say about the two stories, Rev. I know you're kind of waiting, but I will go ahead and tell you all that I honestly think of everything I've written for publication, I think Nevermore is probably the best and most perfect thing I've ever put out.
I loved it personally. Nevermore was my favorite of the book, and Falling from Grace would be next.
Oh wow! Great.
I think that there were while they still had the witty one-liners, they were more serious. I thought. Yep. I thought they dealt more with, particularly Falling from Grace, more with the tragedies of life and relationships, and being older and starting over and being unsure of where you are in your life and where you want to go, and I really liked that neither one of those stories were wrapped up. They weren't. There was no.
Yeah, because life isn't like that, is it?
Yeah, those two. I'll be honest with you. If I had to pick between a full-length book about Bottle Rocket, or if I had to, or a full-length book on Nevermore, my money would be on Nevermore in a heartbeat.
I hear what you're saying, and I will tell you this much. I don't want to give too much away about Bottle Rocket, but it's going to have a lot of deeply serious content in it. And you're just going to have to trust me for how that evolves. But I'm probably more excited about going to work on that than I have been on anything I've ever done.
So I'm going to assume that we're going to do some deep digging into Kate.
We're going to do some deep digging into all 12 of them.
Oh my God!
Yeah, all 12 of them. It's going to be different. It's going to be a little experimental. Oh, wait a minute. I'm getting some sign language over here. Oh, I'm sorry. Salem just corrected my math. There are 13 of them. Pardon me.
Well, no, but I had said Kate, so there were 12 more.
Yeah, thank you. See, she covered my ass. There you go.
I got you.
I have to be nice to her. She just brought me another cocktail.
Oh, I was just looking at mine going, oh, I'm almost empty.
But no, but you're right. I mean, I think the thing that resonates for me about both Falling from Grace and Nevermore is precisely what you just identified. I mean, I think those they're funny and they're amusing, and there's enough of that stuff I do, I hope, to sort of carry people along and give them a chuckle here and there. But they have sort of deeper content.
Yeah, and a lot of times, and this goes back to what we were talking about with Bottle Rocket, the things that you really liked that were a little darker, a little more deep, I kind of missed because the humor is so thick. So, I think that in Nevermore, I mean, you're right, there's still quite a bit of humor there, but it's more subtle. I mean, there's still a lot right on the surface, but it wasn't so thick that I just glossed over the rest of it. And I only have one bullshit to call on Nevermore, and that is there is no fucking way in hell I would kiss anybody, no matter how many Tic Tacs they ate after yakking.
That's like my tire changing error in this one, right?
Yeah, Tic Tacs ain't gonna get it.
She should have had a little bottle of Scope.
She should have had a toothbrush and some Crest.
Absolutely right. I mean, I had numerous people tell me that, like, ew.
I'm like, oh my God, please tell me they're not gonna kiss.
But you gotta hand it to me when Diz stumbles out of that car and throws up on the hood of that Mercedes.
That was awesome.
No, it was on the tire. She threw up on the tire.
Yeah, it was all over the luggage.
I would have been happier if she'd have thrown up on the hood, or in the open window, or something like that.
Like the sunroof.
Oh. Oh, Andy. Nice.
Well, actually, that's from a film.
Well, I mean, and I love that. I love that scene when they're in the nightclub and, you know, somebody mentions, you know, tomorrow's headline is going to be about Rachel Maddow getting dumped in a Baltimore. Yeah.
That was great. Yeah, I unlike Andy, I did. I don't know if connecting so much is the right word, but I wanted to know more about both of them.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I think, and Falling from Grace, even though it was pretty easy to see exactly where it was all going. But I still enjoyed the reactions, and but yeah, Nevermore is absolutely my favorite one on that one.
Thank you. It's definitely my favorite. And I'll tell you something. Writing, and probably, I'm sure you know this, writing a short story is exponentially harder than writing a novel.
I would think so.
Oh, it just is. It just is.
Well, you don't have all the time. You don't have a lot of time to put your characters out there. You know what I mean? And develop an enjoyable story in a very short period of time.
And what I tried to do with Nevermore is, I wrote that story in one weekend.
Get the hell out.
One weekend. And, it was like one of those sort of amazing experiences you sometimes have where things just come together the way they need to, But the process for me, at least, and I'm sure many others would say the same thing, the process of writing something that you hope is going to be, interesting and coherent and do what it needs to do is really just peeling away all of the stuff that doesn't have to be there.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel in some ways that Nevermore succeeds because of its sparseness. I kind of took away all of the extraneous detail that just didn't have to be there.
Yeah, I liked that. You give a really good setup, I think, about, and I like that you didn't try and go back and forth. Even though you're in the third person, you really did stay focused on Diz and her perceptions of things, instead of trying to give us, Clarissa.
There you go. Gosh, you're good.
I just finished it a few hours ago. This is terrible. We get enough. We see who she is. We can. You don't tell us who she is. You show us who she is. She's an honorable person. But like going back to what you said about cutting out the extra. We didn't need to know what her conversations were with Dash. We didn't need to know that. We understood what was happening, and in such a short period of time, that would have taken away from. And besides, Diz, we don't want to hear about it. Really, I mean, I don't want to hear about him. I was happy to have Clarissa come and kind of be there and show Diz and us how her feelings were morphing and she wasn't terrified by any of it. She would just seem like, well, this is where I seem to be going right now, and cool.
Well, I'll tell you two little personal things about that story because you're special. Well, one is where I got the characters' names. I don't know if you either or both are fans of the old Frank Capra movies.
Some, yeah.
So the names Diz and Clarissa came from his movie Mr. Smith Goes to Washington. There you go. There are two characters in that movie named Diz and Clarissa. And the other thing I'll share with you is Diz's Christmas tree, how she only has the one ornament.
Yes.
Yeah, and then at the end the cardinal lands. That was kind of my homage to my father, who died last December while I was writing that story.
Oh.
So I kind of did that for him. So when I did he died right before Christmas. So when I actually did sort of relent and put a tree up in my house, I put only one ornament on it, and it was a red cardinal.
Oh.
Aww.
Anyway.
Damn.
Yeah.
Wow. way to bring the show down, Anne.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Let's have another drink. Trust me, he would approve of that too.
No, that's awesome. Was it now? What about the hangover remedy? Did that come from your dad too?
No, my father. I will tell you this: the moment in my life that I felt closest to my father was the morning of my very, very, very first hangover, where I sat on the back steps of our house and wanted to die. And if I could have put a gun in my mouth, I would have.
Damn.
And my dad came out and sat down on the steps right next to me, fired up a Salem cigarette, sat quietly taking a few drags off it, then kind of glanced over at me and said, a can of beer really helps.
And it would have been a lot better than whatever it was that Clarissa had just drank.
Exactly.
Damn.
Well, the whole Raven and Cardinal thing, I did think that was really special.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
And I like even way. I mean, obviously, I didn't know about the extra meaning there, but no, I liked that, and I like that it ended that way.
Oh, thank you.
So there you go. So
there you go, Andy.
Yeah. So there, Andy.
You know what? Opinions are like assholes. Everybody's got one.
Oh, it's true.
And mine smells pretty.
Yours smells pretty. What do? Tucked your head in there and checked it out? What?
Yeah. Yeah.
Get your head out your ass. Okay.
So listeners, I think that we can definitely recommend Sidecar, especially if you've read Dust or Jericho and you like Anne's humor and her style. Definitely get out and get a copy of Sidecar.
Most definitely. And if you don't like Anne's sense of humor, don't listen to us anymore.
That's right. That's right, bitches. I don't think I called anybody a bitch in the last episode.
Yeah, it's been a while. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, bitches. Well, for you, the listeners of the Cocktail Hour podcast, that's us. Then you're listening right now.
That's right.
Audible is offering a free audiobook download with a free 30-day trial to give you the opportunity to check out their service. Our listeners may enjoy downloading Landing by Emma Donoghue or Best Lesbian Romance 2011, which is edited by none other than Radcliffe and contains stories by several other Cocktail Hour guest authors, Rebecca Buck, Catherine Lundoff, and Moody. Along with many others. To download your free audiobook today, go to audibletrial.com/cocktail hour. Again, that is audibletrial.com/cocktail hour for your free audiobook. You know what I'm listening to right now?
What you listen to right now?
Roots.
Yeah, really?
Yes.
That's got to be a really long one, isn't it?
It is. It's broken down on my iPhone. It's broken down into 4 parts of like 7.5 hours each.
Wow. I'm listening to Swan Song by Robert McMan. That's 30 hours.
Wow.
Yep.
And you think my stories don't flow?
Now, I wanted to ask you, Anne, if you ever put out an audiobook for Bottle Rocket, would you in fact have someone standing in the background to do, with a handful or a jar full of bottle tops?
That's not
you can hear them all hitting the floor.
Exactly.
That's not right.
You know what? I would love to do audiobooks.
That'd be awesome.
Well, you know who you got to get in touch with, right?
Karen Wolfer?
That's right, and I'm going to be recording a bar rag with her tomorrow.
Well, put in a plug for me.
I will.
I would love to do bottle. I would love that. I would love to do that.
First of all, that sounded almost sexual. And second of all, put in a plug for you? Okay.
I think in your case it would be pull out a plug for me.
and second, it'd be really even cooler is to do like a radio play.
That would be hysterical.
Wouldn't that be awesome?
Like a Prairie Home Companion thing?
I would volunteer for one of the characters. Hell yeah.
You could totally do that. I've listened to a few audiobooks that have full cast.
I think that would be great, I would find it, I think, I could try, but it would be sort of daunting to kind of, give a different voice to all the characters.
Can I be Cricket?
Yeah, you can be Cricket McBean.
Awesome. Yay! I'm a control
like
freak.
the fucking Loretta Swit ex-army nurse.
I was just thinking of the control that the gavel would give me.
Yeah,
my God.
I know. You know, she's actually patterned after my dear friend Barrett.
Oh, get out, really? She's patterned after Barrett?
It's a former nurse.
Does Barrett know this?
I hate chives.
I love her. She's a hoot. She is
Well,
a
I'd
hoot.
love to do an audiobook. Put in a plug for me, or pull one out.
I'll mention it to her. So did you want to talk about Aftermath a little bit?
I would. Oh gosh, yeah, I'd love to. Aftermath is the sequel to Jericho, and it's. I've been working on it for more than a year, and finally, it was like dry birth. I finished it about a week ago. My editor has it, and it should be ready for publication maybe by the end of November, but certainly by the 1st of December.
Sweet.
Wow. And who do you publish through?
Bedazzled Inc.
So Aftermath. So what else do you want to tell us about Aftermath?
Well, Aftermath, I do have to say that it was a really humbling and sort of daunting task for me, even to think about writing a sequel to Jericho. I was completely unprepared for the response that book was going to get, and for how passionate many people are about it. I hear from people, not infrequently, who've read the book, more than a dozen times. And sitting down, even attempting to write a sequel to it was really sort of a scary proposition, because the last thing I wanted to do was to disappoint anyone. But I wanted it to be a very different kind of book. I didn't just want to go and take the easy way out and just dip into the same well. Neither was I inclined to do something like lop a hand grenade into the middle of Maddie and Sid's relationship. Mm-hmm. So it's a very different kind of book. It's hilarious. It's really, really funny. There's lots and lots of crazy things that happen. But I will say that it's probably as much a book about the town and the other people who live there as it is a continuation of the Maddie and Sid story, although they are the nexus of the book, and they have a huge part in it. Go ahead.
Oh, no, I was... No, you go ahead.
Well, I was going to say the central theme of this book is what happens with Henry, the little boy they're fostering. Mm-hmm. Aftermath takes place about 18 months after the end of Jericho, and they've had Henry now for about a year and a half. A cataclysmic event occurs. A tornado roars through this tiny mountain community and changes everyone's life. Lots of things are destroyed. A lot of lives are in upheaval. One of the casualties of the storm is the bed and breakfast. So Michael and David have to move in with Maddie and Sid.
No.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
That's the setup.
Oh, hijinks ensue.
It's great. Oh, my God. I can't even begin to tell you the things that happen.
Well, I can't wait to read it.
I hope you like it. I'm very proud of it. It's some of the things that we've talked about here, like the combinations of sort of hilarity, but things that are sort of darker and heavier. Those things sort of exist in equal measure in this book, and I hope that people who love Jericho love this book equally. It's anybody's guess. It's not the same book.
Huh. Wow.
Well, I look forward to judging that for myself.
Yep, me too. And speaking of for ourselves, I think we should play the game.
Oh, okay. And we have more. We have much more to choose from with this different array of characters that aren't just Xena or Gabrielle.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's true. Okay. Yes. So here we go. Who would you fuck? Rev, you're up.
Oh, okay, excellent. Actually, this is okay. I'm gonna go with Clarissa.
Ooh, good
Clarissa.
choice. Good choice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and she can cook. Mm-hmm. She doesn't mind kissing me after I puke.
Yeah.
I mean, Really? What?
She wears.
She's rich.
She wears Jimmy Choos.
See, I don't. Yeah, that's. I don't care about that. But, but yeah. She is smart and
drives an Italian car.
There you go, and has a big glove box. So really,
yeah, and she keeps her.
Are we talking about her physical attributes here?
Ah,
yeah, well, either way, it's good. She's got good sweater meat.
There you go. She's got sweater meat.
What was with those pantyhose anyway?
Yeah.
We're not really clear about that, are we?
No, we're not really clear about that. You're the writer.
With the big rip in the thigh.
Yeah, what the hell, sister? And you never explained it.
Oh. Well, it's like Diz says, either Dane was in a hurry and snagged his Rolex on your hose, or, you were knocking off mini marts.
Yeah, that's great.
Oh, God. Lucy, you got some splaining to do.
Lucy.
Oh.
Okay. All right, Ann.
How about you, Andy?
Here, me? I'm up. Abby.
That was the one I was having a hard time choosing between.
Yeah. Abby she just has that little mysterious air to her, and physically she just sounds like a knockout.
Oh, there you go. Good choice.
Mm-hmm. So
and
yeah,
smart.
Just saying.
See, it's a big difference because last time I think we both picked Sid.
You did. You both went for the Amazon.
Yes.
And the abs.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
And what about you, Anne?
Oh, gosh, I'd have to go with Kate Winston, wouldn't I? Especially since she's here in the room.
Yes, that would be a good idea.
Call me back later.
Is that Eraserhead?
Yes, it would be a Eraserhead. It's true. Yeah, it's true. Her hair is legendary.
Oh, God. I visualize an album cover every time I saw the word Eraserhead. Every time.
See, I would just think of the David Lynch movie.
That's exactly where it came from.
Well, I'm just, different things.
You're so erudite.
Different things just ping us. What can I tell you? Ping us in different ways.
There you go. Well, listeners, I did my strong arming again. And we have a book giveaway. We have books giveaway.
Yay!
We'll be picking... how do I want to do this? Okay, so this is what we're going to do. We have a copy of Sidecar, and we have a copy of Aftermath that will, of course, be available after it comes out late this month or early December. So, now what we have been doing in the past, for the past few giveaways, is what's your favorite work by the author? And if you haven't read the author yet, why the hell not? I think that still works well. I think
it does, yeah.
Okay, so this is what I need you to do, because we've got two different books to give away. Give your answer to the question, what is your favorite of Anne's work? And if you've not read any, why the hell not? But then I also need you to let me know which book you want to, which book you're going for, Sidecar or Aftermath. Okay, and then I will pick a winner from each group, and we will announce it on the next show,
which is November 17th with Super Pretty,
with Melissa Braden.
Oh, nice!
Yeah.
Okay, so there's that.
You can't put Andy in a full body condom.
Ain't that the truth?
Thank God it's over the air.
Come on now.
It's a virtual meeting.
Did you not see me dance with her? I was such the gentlewoman. Thank you.
I did not. I was not there yet.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you. I was proud of me too.
All right, listeners. So go post your damn comments.
That's right.
We're still looking for Reader's Choice. I've got a couple of suggestions. And then, Andy and I are alone in December a lot. It's just the two of us. I like it that way sometimes.
I'll call you.
What?
I'll call you.
You should just call in.
You can, and you're always welcome to call in or send us a little something. We'll play it. If you have, you have a question or a comment that you want us to address.
I like to get drunk and sing Andy Williams songs.
Oh, nice.
You go on ahead. You go ahead and send that.
Oh, it could happen. From your mouth to us here.
We'll play it. You can bet on that.
You damn right we'll play it.
And then, so November 17th. So your answers need to be your
Your lips.
your comments need to be posted no later than the 16th, okay? Because then I'll pick the winner on the morning of the 17th, and then we'll announce it.
Sounds perfect.
All right. And then, I don't know if everybody knows this, but you can now hear our show on Stitcher. Did you know that?
That's awesome.
Stitcher rocks.
Stitcher rocks.
Hard.
Excellent.
So now I'm going to tell you a little bit about Stitcher.
Yeah, tell us about Stitcher.
Because I'm not very good at the segues and all that kind of shit. All right. Okay, so you can hear our show on Stitcher. Stitcher allows you to listen to your favorite shows directly from your iPhone, Android phone, Kindle Fire, and beyond. I listen on my Nexus 7.
Wow. What's a Nexus 7?
On demand and on the go, anytime and anywhere, now, even without Wi-Fi or a cellular connection. Don't have Stitcher? Download it for free today at Stitcher.com or in the app stores.
That's awesome.
Yep, and it's and then it says be sure to register with Facebook so you can comment on our show right on the app. And please do, damn it, because
we'd like some ratings.
Yeah, we'd like to know what you think and all that kind of shit, and then tell your friends.
We don't like it, we'll just delete the comment, no worries.
And here's the thing I like the best about Stitcher is that you don't have to download anything. You don't have to go searching for the show. You don't have to do anything. And just so you know, Anne, the podcast I listen to every single day, except for Saturday and Sunday, is the Rachel Maddow Show.
Yay!
I love
Doesn't
Rachel.
she have some seriously fabulous hair?
She does. That was awesome.
She does.
That was fantastic. And I got that great visual.
I know.
Yeah, very nice, very nice. So so for those of you who are not married to iTunes and want to try something that's a little faster, and honestly I think better. I've really been displeased with the podcast app from iTunes.
Yeah.
Really, really displeased.
Yeah.
Have you been using that, Andy?
Nope.
Yeah, I don't like it at all. But Stitcher, I'm telling you, I posted the Flicks and Swizzle Sticks. It was up almost immediately on Stitcher.
Oh, that's fabulous.
I just love it. I love it, and it's all streaming, so you don't have to worry about space.
That's nice. Yeah, that's a big selling feature.
Yeah.
Yep.
So shit. I don't know.
Well,
that's
that's a great way to end the show. I love that.
I have a request.
Oh, we have a request.
Well, now since I generously offered up 2 of my books,
Mm-hmm.
for the past hour, I've been sitting here staring at this tiny little low-res photograph of a cocktail hour coffee mug.
Oh!
I would love to have one of those.
Which one do you want? There's 2 different ones.
Are 2 different versions? I see the white one that kind of looks like a diner.
That's mine. That is my personal mug.
Oh, I guess well, the other one must be Andy's. It's a martini glass exploding on some woman's groin.
Yeah.
There you go. Okay.
That should be no surprise.
But I'd love to get me a cocktail hour mug.
I think we can arrange
We'll
that.
get you one.
Man, all the rest of you authors, don't pull this shit.
No, only me. It's true.
Anne is very special. I might send one to Moody if she ever asked, but she's terrible at communicating, so I think I'm okay.
Gave up 2 books, okay? Really?
All right, that's fine. But none of them are coming to me.
Oh, well, I'll send you one, too.
You will?
Yes, I will.
Aww.
Yeah.
Yay! I just piled up all of my autographed books and told TJ that I need a special shelf. So
you do shelf.
I'd be pleased and proud to put yours up there, and I will gladly work out for a mug.
Okay, yay. Yay.
Writing it down now.
I'm so cheap and easy.
Wow.
Well,
I'll keep that in mind. You're going to GCLS next year, right?
Andy. Dallas, right, baby? You and me.
Yep.
I'll be there with the video camera.
Yeah, but you get there too late.
You'll need some infrared.
Infrared. Oh, my hell. That's not right. Okay, well, thank you very much, Anne, for being on. You rock, sister.
Oh, well, thank you both so much. It was an honor.
I love your work. I just love your sense of humor. You're fabulous, sister.
I love your work, too, the 2 of you.
Oh, thanks.
Aww.
You do a wonderful thing for all of us.
Well, we enjoy it. most of the
yeah,
time.
I do too.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, say goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye.